Virtual assistants, how AI prompts are saving 15 hours every week. You know that moment when you're staring at a blank email, trying to find the perfect words to decline a meeting request without sounding rude? Or when you've spent 20 minutes formatting the same type of report you've done 100 times before? For virtual assistants, these small tasks add up to hours of lost time every single week. And here's the thing, you're not getting paid to stare at blank screens. You're getting paid to get things done. What if I told you there's a way to handle these repetitive tasks in minutes instead of hours? Not by working faster, but by working smarter with AI. Welcome to 2026, where the most successful virtual assistants aren't the ones working the longest hours, they're the ones who've learned to use AI as their secret weapon. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how they're doing it. The virtual assistant landscape has completely transformed over the past few years. We're not just talking about basic automation anymore. We're talking about AI that can draft emails in your client's voice, create meeting agendas that actually make sense, and even handle the kind of nuanced communication that used to require your full attention. But here's what most people get wrong about AI. They think it's about replacing virtual assistants. It's not. It's about giving you superpowers. The virtual assistants who are thriving right now aren't competing with AI, they're partnering with it. They're using carefully crafted prompts to handle the grunt work, freeing up their time for the high-value tasks that actually require human judgment and relationship building. Think about your typical day. How much time do you spend on tasks that follow the same pattern every time? Scheduling meetings, drafting routine emails, organizing information, creating reports, researching vendors. These tasks are important, but they're also predictable. And that's exactly where AI shines. The difference between virtual assistants who are overwhelmed and those who are scaling their businesses often comes down to one thing: they know how to talk to AI. They've learned the art of prompt engineering, giving AI the right instructions to get exactly what they need, every single time. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Let's start with something every virtual assistant deals with daily: email management. You're handling inboxes for multiple clients, each with their own tone, priorities, and communication style. One client is formal and corporate. Another is casual and friendly. Keeping these voices straight while drafting dozens of emails per day? That's mentally exhausting. Here's how AI changes the game. Instead of writing each email from scratch, you give your AI assistant a detailed prompt like this: you are drafting an email on behalf of Sarah Chan, a marketing consultant, with a warm but professional tone. She uses contractions, keeps sentences short, and always ends with a clear next step. Draft a response to this inquiry about her consulting rates. Include her standard rate of $3,000 per month for retainer clients, mention her current availability starting in June, and suggest a 15-minute discovery call next week. What used to take you 10 minutes of careful writing and editing now takes 2 minutes. You review it, make minor tweaks if needed, and send. But here's the real magic: the AI learns the patterns. The more specific you are with your prompts, the better the output becomes. You're not just saving time on one email. You're creating a system that works for every email, every day. Now let's talk about meeting preparation. You've got a client who has back-to-back meetings all week, and they need you to create agendas, prep materials, and follow-up notes. This used to mean reading through email threads, checking previous meeting notes, and trying to remember what was discussed last time. With the right AI prompt, you can transform this process. You feed the AI the meeting context and say something like, based on this email thread and the notes from our last meeting on April 15th, create a structured agenda for tomorrow's project review meeting. Include progress updates on the 3 active deliverables, discussion points for the budget concerns raised by the finance team, and time allocation for each section. Format it as a professional document with clear time blocks for a 60-minute meeting. The AI doesn't just create a generic agenda. It pulls relevant information from your context, organizes it logically, and presents it in a format that's immediately usable. What used to take 30 minutes now takes 5. And your client walks into that meeting looking prepared and professional, which makes you look like a rock star. Let's move into research and vendor management. Say your client needs to find a new project management software. They want options, pricing, pros and cons, and a recommendation. You could spend 3 hours clicking through websites, reading reviews, and compiling a comparison spreadsheet. Or you could use AI strategically. Your prompt might look like this: I need to research project management software for a remote team of 20 people in the creative industry. They need task management, time tracking, client collaboration features, and integration with Slack and Google Workspace. Budget is up to $50 per user per month. Create a comparison table of the top 5 options, including pricing tiers, key features, user ratings, and notable pros and cons. Then provide a brief recommendation based on the specific needs I mentioned. The AI does the heavy lifting of gathering and organizing information. You still need to verify the details and add your professional judgment, but you've cut your research time by more than half. And because the information is already structured, creating that polished report for your client takes minutes instead of an hour. Here's one that's particularly powerful: social media content planning. Many virtual assistants manage social media for their clients, and coming up with fresh content ideas week after week is draining. You're trying to stay on brand, hit the right topics, and keep the audience engaged. Instead of staring at a blank content calendar, you can prompt your AI assistant like this: you're creating a social media content plan for a career coach who specializes in helping mid-career professionals transition to new industries. Her brand voice is encouraging, practical, and evidence-based. She avoids toxic positivity and focuses on actionable advice. Generate 15 LinkedIn post ideas for the month of June, themed around navigating career transitions. For each idea, include the hook, main points to cover, and a call to action. Vary the post formats between personal stories, how-to guides, and thought-provoking questions. Suddenly you've got a month's worth of content ideas in minutes. You're not using them word for word, you're using them as a foundation that you refine and personalize. But that initial creative heavy lifting? Done. Let's talk about something that trips up a lot of virtual assistants: creating standard operating procedures. Your clients want documentation for recurring processes, but writing SOPs is time-consuming and honestly kind of boring. You know how to do the task, but explaining it step by step in a clear, detailed way? That's a different skill. AI can be your documentation partner. You describe the process conversationally, and the AI structures it into a professional SOP. Your prompt might be: convert this process description into a detailed standard operating procedure for onboarding new podcast guests. Include initial outreach template, scheduling steps, pre-interview preparation checklist, technical setup instructions, and post-interview follow-up. Format it with numbered steps, sub-steps where needed, and include a section for common troubleshooting issues. You talk through the process once, and the AI creates a polished, professional document that your client can actually use. This is especially valuable when you're training someone else to take over certain tasks or when you're scaling your VA business and need to document your systems. One more example that's incredibly practical: data organization and reporting. You're pulling information from multiple sources, spreadsheets, email threads, project management tools, and your client needs it synthesized into a clear executive summary. Instead of manually copying and pasting data and trying to identify trends, you can give your AI assistant the raw information and prompt it like this: here's data from our client projects for Q2, project names, completion dates, budget versus actual spend, and client satisfaction scores. Analyze this data and create an executive summary that highlights overall performance trends, projects that came in under budget, any concerning patterns, and 3 actionable recommendations for Q3. Write it in a professional but accessible tone suitable for a board presentation. The AI identifies patterns you might have missed, structures the information logically, and presents it in a way that tells a story. You review it for accuracy, add your insights, and deliver a report that makes your client look good in front of their stakeholders. Now, here's what all of these examples have in common: specificity. The virtual assistants who get the best results from AI aren't the ones typing "write an email" into a chat box. They're the ones who've learned to give context, specify tone, define structure, and set clear parameters. They're treating AI like a skilled junior assistant who needs good direction to do great work. And the results? They're significant. Virtual assistants who've integrated AI prompts into their workflow are reporting an average of 15 hours saved per week. That's almost 2 full workdays. Some are using that time to take on more clients and increase their income. Others are using it to finally have a sustainable work-life balance. And many are using it to move upstream, spending less time on administrative tasks and more time on strategic work that commands higher rates. But it's not just about time. It's about quality and consistency. When you're using well-crafted prompts, you're not reinventing the wheel every time. You're building systems. Your outputs become more consistent. Your clients get reliable, high-quality work every single time. And you're not burning out trying to maintain that quality manually. There's also a competitive advantage here that we need to talk about. The virtual assistant market is more crowded than ever. Clients have options. What sets you apart isn't just your skills, it's your efficiency and your ability to deliver exceptional results consistently. When you can turn around a project in half the time without sacrificing quality, you become invaluable. When you can handle more complex requests because AI is handling the routine stuff, you move into a different tier of virtual assistant work. The virtual assistants who are commanding premium rates in 2026 aren't necessarily the ones with the most years of experience. They're the ones who've adapted to new tools and can deliver more value in less time. They're the ones who can confidently tell a potential client, "Yes, I can manage all of that," because they know they have AI backing them up on the repetitive tasks. And here's something important: using AI doesn't make you less skilled. It makes you more strategic. You're still the one with the judgment, the client relationships, the understanding of context and nuance. AI is just handling the parts that don't require your unique human expertise. It's like the difference between a carpenter who insists on using hand tools for everything versus one who uses power tools for the rough work and reserves their CRA.